if you've been amassing credit cards or about to jump into amassing credit cards for their amazing benefits of stacking points and miles, there always comes a time where you must justify the annual fee after year 1 sign-up bonus. In this video, we're going to learn about my no-brainer cards and others which are questionable. If you haven't been rationalizing the annual fees of your cards, then you ought to pause and take a moment to ensure that those cards are still working for you. There are likely folks who might be caught up with flexing with cards which don't benefit them. Case in point, my mom thinks the AmEx Gold card is pretty and I can't get her to use the Sabre one even though she owns the Venture X. If I can't convince my mom, I surely won't be able to convince you. Also, your boy might have a couple cards which are questionable at best. In my defense, I do have a credit card channel where I only chat about the cards which I use, so that I'm able to bring you first-hand knowledge of their benefits in action. For those new to the channel, I'm Richard Debs from R2 Travel Rewards, and I'm an avid traveler. I'm currently traveling Africa, hence this gorgeous view from the villa that I'm renting on the coast of Kenya. Max, you better give a shout out when you hit up that Kenyan safari which you talked about on your channel. And the rest of you, go ahead and subscribe to see how I use credit cards to enable this kind of amazing travel. I'll break down 3 high annual fee cards which I own that are super easy to justify, which I term as no-brainers for anyone in a similar use case as mine. Then I'll get into 2 high annual fee cards where there is no way that I can offset the annual fee in credits, and will then give my verdict on whether or not I'm keeping those cards. Here are the easy to justify cards. The Hilton Honors Aspire, which has a $550 annual fee, the Capital One Venture X, which has a $395 annual fee, and the AmEx Business Platinum, which has a $695 annual fee. The not so easy to justify cards are the Chase Sapphire Reserve with a $550 annual fee and the AmEx Gold with a $250 annual fee. Alright, let's start with the Hilton Honors Aspire. There's a $400 Hilton Resort credit which is earned at $200 semi-annually, which is from January to June, then July to December. As you can see here, I've already collected $200 in the first half of this year. Folks, I have Hilton cards because they fit my use case of convenient stays, like at airports, and I enjoy their resorts in the Caribbean and Mexico. Then there's a $200 airline flight credit, which is earned as a $50 credit each quarter. I really love this credit because of its flexibility in that it may be used on any airline. Again, as shown here, I've already used Q1 and Q2's credits. Using this credit each quarter is a tad cumbersome because it's easy to miss if you're not mindful of all the credits available on your stack of cards. Then there's a $189 Clear Plus credit. I don't use my Clear membership from this card, so I value it at $0 here. I'll get into how I use this membership as a credit from another card. Here's a summary. I enjoy staying at Hilton Resorts with status, and I enjoy traveling, which makes it easy for me to use up a total of $600 in credits against a $550 annual fee card, which puts $50 back in my pocket. Next is a Capital One Venture X with a $395 annual fee. There's a $300 annual travel credit, and then a $25 per year credit for global entry and TSA pre-check, or $100 over 4 years. I value this at $0 because it's not unique to the Venture X. Then Capital One gives you 10,000 anniversary miles valued at $100 a year. In summary, this is by far the simplest card rationalization to perform. It's an easy $5 back in your pocket yearly. The downside is that you're forced to use the $300 travel credit through the Capital One portal. Given that I avoid booking flights with card portals, I reserve this credit for low-budget hotel stays when traveling. Next is the AmEx Business Platinum card with a $695 annual fee. There's a $400 Dell credit. It's earned as a $200 credit semi-annually, which is from January to June, then July to December. In addition to this channel, I have a travel channel aptly named Richard Debs, so there is never a shortage of tech gear which I need. Then there's a $200 airline fee credit. In contrast to the Hilton Aspire card, this credit may be used anytime within a calendar year. For those who don't own any version of the AmEx Platinum card, to receive this $200 airline fee credit, you're required to select your desired airline from amongst a set of US airlines once a year. Amex is often flexible with allowing you to make a last-minute airline change provided you haven't already changed your airline within that year. I've yet to push the envelope requesting multiple airline changes to my selected airlines. Given that I have so many glorious Delta points, which is a US carrier, I plan on taking advantage of the full $200. Next is $120 wireless credit, which is earned at a rate of $10 a month. This is a set it and forget it scenario, which is desirable. Lastly, there's $189 clear credit, but I always give this credit a haircut down given that a $40 discount is readily available. And clear is often absent at many terminals, so I tend to value this at only $100. In summary, earning this $820 in credits is straightforward if you're able to make the leap for applying for and using business cards. This card puts $125 back into my pocket. So I hope it's clear why this card is a no-brainer. Alright, let's talk about the cards which are not easy to justify based on credits. The Chase Sapphire Reserve with a $550 annual fee. There's a $300 travel credit, which is very easy to use, and a $100 Priority Pass membership. This is not represented as a credit, but this membership is not something that I'm prepared to do without, and it's valued at $100 a year for base membership should I choose to pay out of pocket. I however value this at $0, given that I can easily get it from my Platinum card. It also doesn't help that effective July 1st, 2024, the Priority Pass restaurant category will be stripped away from the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. Then there's a $25 a year for global entry and TSA PreCheck credit, which is really $100 for 4 years. I also value this at $0 given that I can easily get it from my Amex Platinum card. In summary, this amounts to $300 in credits, which are unique to this card, and therefore leaves me with a $250 gap to make up, which I then must extract from the other benefits of this card. Then there's the AmEx Gold with a $250 annual fee. There's a $120 dining credit, which is earned at $10 a month, and there's a $120 Uber credit, which is also earned at $10 a month. The summary for this card is that I'm not a fan of the $10 a month credits associated with services that I rarely use, and then have to work hard when I do use them. I happen to be a big spender on food and groceries, which is why I've always owned this card. However, for the first 4 months of 2024, this card was displaced by my Citi Custom Cash triple threat on groceries and the Bilt card as my primary dining solution. Including the fact that I'm actively traveling Africa for the next 3 months, I am clearly not getting enough out of the American Express Gold card this year. So you're gonna cancel the card? Never. Stop with the crazy talk. I can safely earn about $50 out of the 240 credits, which means that the effective annual fee is $200. So in summary, I hope that I've made a no-brainer case for the Hilton Honors Aspire, the Venture X, and the Amex Business Platinum cards. I come out ahead at $50, $5, and $125 respectively. Now, do you see why the Amex Business Platinum card is my premier travel card? I'm getting $125 back just in credits alone. As long as Amex maintains useful credits, this card is a major keeper for me. These 3 cards all pay for themselves, and then they're supercharged when you get into their benefits. The Sapphire Reserve and the Amex Gold don't pay for themselves with credits alone, as I'm in the hole $250 and $200. They require solid utilization of the card benefits to truly justify having these cards. I've already accepted my fate that the Gold card is not a winner for me this year. And I've never considered the Sapphire Reserve as a winner on credits, but I'll be keeping the card because my visits to the Sapphire Reserve Lounge in Boston and New York clearly covers the $250 gap. I'd be interested in learning which cards of yours are no-brainers and which ones you keep just because. Thank you for watching until the end. If you've gotten this far, it only makes sense to like, share, and subscribe to help bring this channel some visibility. As always, take care and be good to each other.